You're listening to the How to Talk to Girls podcast, where you'll learn step by step how to meet and seduce beautiful women. Whether you're looking for one night of fun, a week-long fling, or a long-term relationship. I'm your host, Trip, and the episode starts now. Hello and welcome to the How to Talk to Girls podcast. I'm your host, Trip Kramer from tripadvice.com. Welcome to another episode here. So excited to have you back. And if it's your first time, well, welcome. Welcome. We have a voicemail today. I do these every once in a while. Yes, there is a hotline. You guys can call in and I get to answer your questions. The hotline's 323-432-0025. And you can leave a message and I'll do my very best to put you on the podcast. No guarantees. I'll only do a couple a week, and some of you guys leave voicemails where it's actually very hard to understand you. And so if I can't understand you, I can't put you on the podcast. But we got a voicemail from a guy named Terrence, which you're going to hear in just a second, and we'll get to it. But I just want to say that Terrence is in quite the predicament, but one that shouldn't be too difficult because there's some mindsets that you need to follow in terms of what protocols to do when you're in a situation like he has here. And you'll see. In fact, let's not waste any time. Let's just get right into it. Here's the voicemail from Terrence.
Hello, Trip. This is Terrence from Indiana, and I have a particular question I was going to ask you, and I've been thinking about it, asking other people, trying to find a solution to it, what's their outtake, what's their advice, get their opinion on this stuff, and what I should do. But there's this girl that I go to church with, and she has a sister, an older sister, and I want to talk to and approach her older sister, but me and the younger sister, we follow each other on social media, and we like each other's pictures and stuff, and she was talking to me on social media, and we've been talking and we've hung out and stuff, but I told her we're only just friends and stuff like that. So do you think I can still approach and talk to her older sister, because she's the one I want and not her? Thank you, and thank you for your podcast. They really do help. I listen to them every day. But just that's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
So Terrence, here's the quick answer. Yes, you can talk to her older sister. Yes, you can approach her older sister. And I have a few reasons why. So this is interesting. I'm not 100% clear on what's going on here, so I'm going to make some assumptions. It sounds like this younger sister likes you, okay? That's what you're making it sound like, that she likes you, and you have ultimately put her in the friend zone, okay? Now, is that a dick move to then go for the older sister? I mean, listen, is it going to make the younger sister feel good? No. If she likes you, she's going to feel pretty crappy about it. And you may be putting them in a very interesting predicament. However, if you're being very honest here and you have not flirted with the younger sister, your friend, if you're not flirted with her, if you've not led her on in any way, then I think this is okay. Where I don't think it's okay is if you have led her on. It's I don't know. If you've actually done that, that's kind of a dick move, You've led this other girl on to really like you. Maybe you flirted with her. I don't know. You're saying you're liking all of her social media. If you're saying that everything between you guys has been 100% innocent and you have not gone out of your way to make this girl think that you like her, if you haven't done that, fine. Go for the older sister. But if you have, this is where it gets difficult, Again, even in that case, I still think you should probably go for the older sister. It's you know what? She'll get over it. It's it doesn't really make sense. You shouldn't go for someone. Why? Because the sister likes you. It's well, so that should deprive you and the sister having a shot with each other. I mean, I got to give that younger sister some tough love here, but it's all right, we'll just deal with it. I mean, we can't just walk around here tiptoeing. It's not like you've done something so evil. Again, maybe you did and you led this girl on, which is just not cool. But if you haven't, then yeah, man, just go for it. Go for it. I don't want you guys to sit here tiptoeing so much. I'm not saying to do anything obviously evil or wrong or immoral in any sense, but this is one of those situations where it's kind of cloudy, like what's the deal here? But there's nothing wrong here. There's nothing wrong at all. You're not playing anyone against each other. There's no manipulation here. You happen to like someone else. In fact, if I have this wrong, and I'm completely wrong here, and the younger sister, she doesn't actually like you, and that was never a thing, and you're listening, you're like, yeah, the younger sister doesn't like me. So, well, obviously then go for the older sister. But then talk to the younger sister and say, hey, I think I'm going to talk to your older sister. Like if you're actually literally friends with her, then just say that you're interested in her sister. Why not? Yeah, it could be a little weird because it is her sister, but I don't know. Listen, man, you sound like a young guy. You sound like a guy who's just, going to church. Maybe I don't know. You can sound like maybe you're in high school. I don't know. Maybe you're in college. Maybe you're in your early 20s. Whatever. Whatever. Just go for it. You like someone, just go for it. As long as you're not overtly screwing anyone over. That's when it gets really cloudy, right? Like when you're just totally screwing someone over here. And this is not the case. This is the lesson of this podcast, right? Is that you got to sit here and you got to weigh things. The mindset is, am I really doing something wrong? Or is it going to take the parties involved to maybe grow up a little bit and deal with the harsh realities of life? Because that's what I think. I think in this case, the younger sister is just going to have to deal with the harsh realities of life. I mean, this is even assuming that you go for the older sister and it works out. It might not. Now, here's another thing that you got to think about too. You got to think about your friendship with the younger sister. Because if this is a really important friendship to you, again, I don't know. I can't tell. I don't know how close you guys are. If it's just kind of like at church once in a while thing and there's some social media talk once in a while, but it's nothing that serious of a friendship, well, then yeah, man, do whatever you want. Like, who cares? But if this girl is someone who's you're really close with, and it would be very, very weird to go for her older sister, then maybe you want to think about that because you don't want to potentially ruin the friendship with the younger sister. But I don't know. This is going to be up to you. It's hard to say because I don't have all the details here. But that's another thing to think about is, what is it that you want? Yeah, you want the older sister, but do you want the older sister and potentially lose a friendship? If so, then obviously you don't care much about that person in the first place and then go for it. But if you're like, no, like I really cherish this friendship that I have with this person and it wouldn't be worth it just to go for one girl. Because that's the other thing too, is we got to have an abundant mindset. I preach that a lot on the podcast here. An abundant mindset, knowing that, this guy is so concerned with this one girl who it might not even work out with. He hasn't even really approached her yet. And he's so concerned. And that concern, a lot of it is coming from the fact that maybe he's not in an abundant mindset knowing that there are other women out there. A lot of people don't have that. They kind of take what they can get because a lot of people are just really focused on meeting people through the social circle, right? The social circle, meeting people through church and through friends and other friend groups and other cliques of any sort, right? That's how a lot of people meet other people. It's very, very common and very normal. However, gosh, it limits you. It really does. It limits you beyond all belief. I mean, how many women are you really, really coming across of your friends of friends of friends? I mean, even if you tell me 20, which is a very high number, still, that's not a lot. That's not a lot, really. I mean, imagine 20 girls through a whole social circle, and you're telling me one of those is going to be the one that you like? I mean, listen, if we're talking about just hooking up with girls, different story. But even so, you're not going to be able to hook up with everyone. So 20 is still not a lot. My point here is you need a bigger sample size. That's what abundance mentality is about. It's about saying, hey, I can handle really not having to pine over one specific girl. It's like, this is too much work in your head already, Terrence. Like, you're like, this one girl and there's a sister. It's like, just go for it. You're not hurting anyone. Nothing's wrong here. Go for it. It might not even work out. And boom, then you can move on. okay? I want you guys to expedite this process. We got to expedite the dating process. I think that this thing, it can take a long time, like longer than it needs to, right? It's like you really pining after a certain girl for a while, or you're going out with one girl at a time, which I get if you've been in a lot of dates with her, but if you're just starting to date, like meet multiple girls, expedite the process. Also, if you're looking for a relationship, learn more about what you're looking for. Get some non-negotiables in there so I'm looking for a girl who has this, this, and this. Because if you don't know what those are, you're just going to be wasting your time with a lot of dumb dates that are just going nowhere. Okay? So let's not waste time here. So that's a lot of the mindsets I'm talking about here in terms of what's going on. This is such a very simple little situation. Okay, sister, older sister, should I go for it? But look at all we drew out from here. The idea of abundance, the idea of moral versus immoral, whether or not you should go for it depending on what the situation is. And also, knowing how you want to treat your friends. Who is your friend? Who's important? What's the priority here? Is the priority going for a girl, or is the priority the friendship, right? All these things to think about. And I think, Terrence, that should hopefully have answered your question there, okay? And I know a lot of guys out there are not in this situation. I know this might seem a little more advanced for some people. Like, whoa, he's already confident enough. He can get the older sister. He's got the younger sister liking him. Like, this is a lot. It's like, what's happening here? Why can't I get to that point? Well, if you're just trying to figure out how to meet and attract more women, I want you to listen to this real quick. Hey, it's Trip Kramer. How would you like to be the man that women are naturally drawn to and command the animalistic magnetism that makes women desperately compete to become your lover? It's not enough to attract her. You've got to get her hooked. And that's why I'm inviting you to learn how to create an amazing abundance in your dating life that will make your friends grab you and demand to know what you're doing differently. You'll learn how to turn a female friend into a lover, how to set up a first date that naturally leads to sex. You'll even learn to get your ex-girlfriend or wife back if that's what you want. This program, Hooked, will get you everything you need to enjoy the sex life and dating life you know you deserve. Go to GetHerHooked.com to learn how to get a woman completely addicted to you. 100% money back guaranteed. GetHerHooked.com. Check that out, GetHerHooked.com, my system for you. It works like a charm. We got people coming into Trip's Corner, my private Facebook group, which you only get access to if you end up purchasing Hooked. So absolutely would love to see you in there and hear you in there. There's over 1,000 guys, and it's been quite amazing, the things that go on in Trip's Corner. So hopefully you join me. And if you're already like, I'm in there, well, cool, because I'm seeing you there. What else here? That's all I got. That's all I got for today. If you have a question, call in 323-432-0025. Leave a voicemail. Be as detailed as possible so I can help answer the question. I wish we had more details from Terrence. Unfortunately, we don't. That's okay. I think either way, we answered the question. All right? Stay classy, and I'll see you on the next podcast episode.